Hello and welcome everyone to the semifinals of the Collegiate Chess League. This is Division 7. UC Santa Barbara versus Northern Illinois. I believe these teams have played before. I'm not quite sure. Maybe I could look this up. Maybe I should have known, but let me see. Yeah, so these are both Group A teams. Santa Barbara was the actually, Northern Illinois is actually a B team. Okay, so they haven't played before. This is their first time meeting. Santa Barbara, they lost one match, I believe. No, not Santa Barbara. Actually, yeah, both of these teams only lost once, but Northern Illinois also had a draw. So technically Santa Barbara is the higher seed. And let me double check that perhaps with the bracket. Yeah, so Santa Barbara is the number 2 seed overall in Division 7. Northern Illinois is the the seed 3 team. So these are two very close teams. And we're starting off here. We got Josh versus Santir Red, I believe. So Josh is the board 3. Santir is Jack Feynman from Santa Barbara, the board 2. And yeah, this is the only semifinals match that is being played tonight. There will be the rest of the league playing tomorrow morning. Looks like White's doing pretty good here. They can take twice on e5, not only winning a pawn, but also you can take here with the queen, forcing Black to take with the king and be uncastled. So now there goes the e5 pawn, and now Josh is looking good here. So Northern Illinois, on paper, they're definitely the favorite. They've got 3 players above 1600. Josh is the board 3. He's at 1606. And Santa Barbara, I believe, only has 1 player at 1600. Their top board, Han Solo, who I actually don't see playing right now. Let me try to follow him. Obviously, Han Solo is not his actual name. His name is Lucas Nguyen. Unfortunately, don't see them playing. They should be playing. Oh, Tosabu's playing Eagle Strike 66. I don't know who that is. This is a 5-2 game. Maybe the players know something that I don't know. Well, it says their name is Lucas. So interesting. We'll have to keep an eye on that. Okay. So I guess we have all 4 games. I guess I should change the username then, huh? Eagle Strike 66. Yeah, very peculiar. But that's all good. That's all right. All right, so who should we watch? We also have Nul Miso versus Something Stranger. So this is a top board from Northern Illinois against the bottom board of Santa Barbara. The position's pretty even so far. Games have just started. Nothing crazy is happening. But yeah, Something Stranger about 1,000 rating points higher than Nul Miso, so should be no problem for the top board. What's up, Dev, the Chess King? Good to see you guys in chat. Appreciate you all tuning in. Saw Chess Jawa earlier, the captain of the U Chicago team. Obviously, we got Chessmaster Brent, one of the most regular viewers we have. Always appreciate seeing Brent. I believe Division 8 player from Sacred Heart. So yeah, Josh looking good against Santir. Up a pawn still. This king still moving around. Maybe putting the rook here. Division 8 from Sacred Heart, yes. So trading knights now. Bishop takes. Gonna hit this knight and potentially double these pawns. Weaken this pawn. This is defended here, but maybe we'll see the knight move with tempo, and that's exactly what we see. So the bishop is hit by the knight. We could see a5. We could see bishop back. Bishop here. If bishop here, we'll have pawn push with tempo. So the bishop goes back here. We still might see b4 to perhaps prepare c5 with tempo. Instead, we have knight here hitting the bishop, threatening to isolate this pawn. In fact, I think white would be good to do this. So now this is an isolated pawn, a potential weakness. And again, we could see some expansion here on the queen side pawns. Maybe a rook to the open d file. Seems natural. This king probably going to move upwards somewhere. Don't be deceived. This king's moved. No castling for black. For those of you tuning in just now, you might not have seen this king having already moved. They put it back to make you think that they haven't moved yet. But castling is not an option here. In fact, Santir might not even know themselves. They might be trying furiously right now. I don't know why it's not working. But you also don't want to castle kingside because you lose this pawn. Oh, actually, it wasn't Santir's move, so that's why they weren't moving. It was white's turn. So they bring the king up pretty quickly, as if they knew that they had moved their king twice already. So they were not the ones that were confused. That was totally on me. Santir down a pawn, but up a lot on time. We have the c5 move, so now the bishop has to go here. And that hits the b pawn. The b pawn can move to save itself. Or perhaps we give up the b pawn, a sacrifice to the bishop, and then getting the open b file, getting to b7 with a lot of activity. But no, saving the b pawn, not going twice, just once. Now putting a halt to the h pawn, h3 saying you shall not go any further. And now it's going to be awkward to push g4, not only controlled by the pawn, but also the bishop here. So yeah, maybe trying to put some pawns on light squares instead of going on dark squares. We have rook to the d file. White contests this immediately. A trade, perhaps yet another trade, although black is down material. I don't know if you want to get all the rooks off. Okay, they offer this. So we will have opposite colored bishops. And the thing about opposite colored bishops is even if one side is up a pawn, it is very likely to become a draw. So the reason for that is because these bishops will never be able to meet. They're forbidden from ever touching, as they are on opposite colors. Bishops only work on the single color complex. They might have a second team this spring. That's awesome. Looking forward to that. Division 10. Well, we'll probably have more divisions next season. If we have the usual limit of 16 teams per division, likely we will have more divisions, assuming we get more teams to register for next spring. So, who knows? Division 10 might be the new Division 7. You never know. If you think Division 7's good, now wait till next spring. Division 7 next spring, it's going to be like a 2,300 average. Okay, I'm exaggerating a little bit, but you get the idea. Okay, so I have to question. Okay, well, this pawn is very weak, right? It's a permanent weakness on a dark square. Not sure why white's putting more pawns on dark squares. Okay, there's en passant. En passant, you're looking pretty because now these pawns are separated and you've gotten rid of your weakness here. And now, okay, this creates a passed pawn. However, you want to promote on a light square. This square is controlled by a dark square, and the bishop here controls it. So this, not as good, but still decent. Like, white is obviously the one pushing for a win here. You got to push that pawn. So now everything's on light squares for white, which is ideal. But now you got to bring the king in somehow. And the king is starting to move, making progress. King's trying to do the same. Now, this king might get in here and try to make some pass pawns this way. But yeah, looks like there's a nice blockade. Okay, going after the pawn, very smart. Pawn probably push, I would assume, to save it. And now, maybe bishop here. I don't know. It's hard. You got to bring the king this way, I suppose. See, this is the wrong way. Perhaps anticipating this move. But I don't know. Let's check out Nolmiso against Something Stranger. So Something Stranger looks to be winning this game. They're up a rook as well as some pawns. 3 pawns. So they could even give up the rook and still be winning. They could take on f2 right now and be chilling. What's up, Mr. Tice? Nicholas Tice, the famous national master, crazy house entrepreneur, legend, myth, human, lover, connoisseur of chess memes and copy pasta. Definitely check him out. He plays Magic the Gathering. I know Chessmaster Brent is a fan of Magic the Gathering. We got Something Stranger with the first blood of the game. Drawing first blood there. Beating the 4th board. We got gobsmacked with only 20 seconds against Hot Grill. Hot Grill, about a minute. So Nicholas Tice, I don't know if you heard, but I have very exciting news. Tomorrow, not only is it the semifinals of the Collegiate Chess League, I will be joined by a special guest commentator, a very strong, talented individual that goes by the name of Grandmaster Ray Shea Robson. That's right. You heard it here. Tomorrow, very exciting times for the Collegiate Chess League. Okay, the knight wants to come here. And from there, I guess they want to give check. Okay, knight here. Now that actually breaks the communication between the rook and the bishop. So this is quite the fatal blunder. Best now is to move the knight again. So, okay. But now there goes the bishop. Actually, oh, the rook covers this. That would have been mate if the knight was still here. So that would have been dangerous. Santier Red beats Josh. Actually, even though they were down a pawn. Okay, so here, bishop's hit bishop here, knight here opens this up, but the knight can trade. The knight can also go here. Both sides less than 10 seconds. This game is far from over. Well, it's soon to be over, but okay, that's a free rook. Okay, that was missed. Rook here now. Oh, that's still a free rook. Both players very low on the time. Hot Girl, 3 seconds. 2, 1. Are they going to find the move? Oh my god. Buzzer beater. They find it. They trade, essentially, but black is definitely much better. Check. That's a weird move. That was a free bishop. Now that's a free knight. King move. What? Oh, that's a free bishop still. You take it back. Both players, they've never played with such little time on their clocks. They've never been in this situation. Don't know what's happening. There's a check. Okay, trade. This pawn wants to promote, but looks like black's got every piece there to cover. So as the time advances after every move, the player should be more and more comfortable. That's a free piece. Black finds it. Now we finally have resignation. So Hot Grill with a point. The board 2 from Northern Illinois. All right, final game. Tossabu, board 4 from Northern Illinois. Can they pull off a miracle? Looks like they're giving up a couple pawns. 2 versus 3. This would be huge for Northern Illinois. This is Northern Illinois' 4th board. Rook here defends the pawn. 12 seconds. 10. They push. That drops that with check. King up. That drops this with check. You don't want to trade rooks. That's game over. King here take 3 pawns to 0. So it looks like Eagle Strike should be ensuring this win here. 2 pawns though. So they dropped 1. Here. Rook check to here. Okay, this was threatening mate. Oh. Isn't this good for black? Yes, check. If you try to hold on to the rook, there's another rook check, and you lose the rook. So the king steps back. The rook's stepping back, cutting the king off from the pawn. King just defending this, making sure there's no funny business. So now we got the ladder mate on pre-move. So eagle strike, very close game. Keeping it close, and the match score 2 for 2. Thank God Ray doesn't have to see your. He'll be down in G8. All right. I want to see Josh versus Santier Red actually really quick. Okay, you know what? I didn't actually want to see that game anyways. Here we have Something Stranger versus Gobsmacked. So Gobsmacked the board 3 against the board 1 from Northern Illinois. We got round 2 of 4 underway. Let me see, what are the prizes for Division 7? It seems that Division 7 has $300 for first and $200 for second. So this match right here, the winner is guaranteed at least $200. So this is a $200 prize match right here on the line. The loser gets nothing in Division 7. In Division 6, that's the last division for third place prizes. Berkeley will be playing U Chicago tomorrow. It's going to be a very exciting match. They will play at 11 a.m. Pacific time. I'm very excited for tomorrow. Not only are we joined by Ray Robson, absolute legend, but we'll also have Twitch front page from 10 to 1 Pacific. A little late. What do you mean? If you guys want to see the stream schedule for tomorrow, you can see it in our announcement in our Discord. Okay, so I see 3 boards. I'm missing which one? Which one am I missing? So you have Something Stranger. We got Santier Red. We got Han Solo. I guess we're missing No Miso. Okay. We got No Miso and Hot Grill. Alright, so I see all 4 games. What's going on in this one? What's this king doing on G7? Looks like Hot Grill is going to be doing pretty well against No Miso. No Miso is going to have a tough match today. 878. So any points from them will be essentially an upset. Their easiest match will be against Tasabu, the 1200 from Northern Illinois. And Tasabu gave Eagle Strike a hard time in round 1. So let's see actually how Tasabu's doing here. This is Illinois' top, or their captain. Their 4th board, but their captain, their leader. Looking to see if they can get an upset now against the board 2. They almost did it in round 1, but not quite. They're just a little shy. White putting a lot of pressure here on this point. Pawn, bishop, knight, and now rook. So black trades on e3. This opens up the bishop, but this is defended. If pawn takes, we have pawn recaptures, undoubling. With this last capture, the f-file is semi-open for the white rook on f1. Black yet to castle. They brought the bishop back to guard against knight e6 check. They could give up the bishop for the knight, and then that way bring the bishop out to get ready to castle. That, or you got to go to e7. So we have black trades. Now, white will recapture on d4 at some point, but do they take with the rook first? This is something to think about. So they do, and now they will take on d4. So we've undoubled the pawns. Black still needing to get castled. We still have Han Solo here against Josh, who's now under 1600. I thought Josh had a good position. I don't know what they did. They were up a pawn. Must have done something wrong against Santier Red. So Josh now up against. Wait, what? They changed their name again, weren't they? Eagle Strike 66. What the heck? I don't know. I'm gonna have to message them. That's so weird. I'm very confused by that. Who is their captain? Let me see. Okay, it looks like there goes an exchange. So here, and actually look at this. Knight here, that's actually a free knight. So bishop went here. So white decides to save the piece, which makes sense. But they're still down in exchange. Hot Grill beat No Miso. Not too much of a surprise, but this takes a lead for Northern Illinois. I'm trying to do some detective work as to... So strategist is the team captain, Lucas. So I don't want to message him while he's playing. But I will message him at least after the match. Who their board one is. Well, I want to know why they changed usernames. That is definitely something to be investigated. Because their first round, they were definitely not Han Solo. So, yeah. Anywho, it's all good. So yeah, let's see. Han Solo blundered a piece. Josh didn't take it, instead decided to go after the exchange. And now we will see if Josh can take advantage of Han Solo's mishaps. So we have a capture on b5. And now black technically has a passed pawn on the outside. Actually, it looks like this is a free pawn. Okay. So Han Solo getting a pawn back for the exchange. And now actually the a5 pawn is somewhat weak. Queen c7's been played. Perhaps the threat of taking on c3. And I know what you're thinking. Well, Joe, doesn't the knight on d5 need to defend the knight on b6? And after bishop takes, queen takes, you lose this knight. Yeah, but did you think about rook to b8 skewering the queen and the bishop behind it after that? I don't know. So maybe white needs to defend c4 or c3 by playing c4. Yeah, that's an idea. You did think about rook b8. All right, Chicago's captain knows what's up. White played c4. So now this knight is going to have to relocate. It's going to have to find a new home, a new shelter. It's being evicted by the pawn. This bishop guarding all forward moves for the knight. The knight can't even make forward progress. Has to go back to knight e7. Really no other options. I mean, No other good options. This is kind of an only move here. The pawn has given the knight its notice. I don't know how long the notice. It was a very short notice. Unless you predicted that white would play c4, which kind of made sense. All right, so while the knight is gathering its belongings, they decided they moved to b4. So now some things are hanging. White could simply just take on b4. You could also take on a5. The knight did not like e7, so didn't go there. And now we do have a capture on a5. Now the knight is hanging. We can go to maybe c6. Then probably knight or queen here, defending the pawn. So material has actually been rebalanced. Something Stranger beat Gobsmacked. So they're 2 for 2. So the top 2 boards for Illinois, undefeated so far, taking down the bottom 2 boards. Tossaboos down to their last 5 seconds. 1 second. There it is. Flagged. So Santier Red getting a point back for Santa Barbara. And now we're down to this last game here of round 2. Both players about 45 seconds left. Something Stranger is not what they seem. Jack Feynman. Okay. Knight a5 is an interesting idea. Opening up the queen. Putting both knights to target the c4 square. Yeah, well, Something Stranger, I mean, they're the top board of an A team. So I think there are stronger players in lower divisions, which is kind of unfortunate in a way, but it's the reality of how the divisions are made. Okay, so we have d5 trying to distract the e6 pawn from the defense of the knight. So we're changing the registration process for next season, where the team rating is actually determined by only the top 4 players. All right, so black has the exchange, but white has 2 pawns, although one of them is doubled. This hits the bishop. Bishop tucks back. Both players very low on time. Trying to break through to get the d pawn. So I really like how Josh is playing this. Knight here, we can push this or defend this. Knight here could have helped defend this. Okay. Wait, we can kick this out though. This didn't work. The bishop had to move. Oh, but there goes this thing. But now there goes that pawn. And now watch out for the fork. Okay. Yeah, you don't want to kick the knight out. Watch out for the rook. Okay. Knight here. There's a check. King here. There's some more check. Okay, this pawn is hanging. So Josh should win this game against the top board. Push the pawn. Ooh, sacrificing here. Very interesting. King here. I mean, this is still winning, but kind of difficult. A little more difficult, perhaps, than it needed to be, but still good. Pawn push. Okay, this. Take. King here. Pawn push. You hate how they move players around on multiple teams. Why do you hate that? pawn push. Yeah, so this is completely winning now. Now you can play f3. Okay, king h2. Yeah. Oh, hold up. King h3, king h4. Now king g4, and now f3. F3, yes. King e3, there's king g3. So now king f4, now you grab the pawn, and then king back to f4, and then push the other pawn, and then this is completely winning. All right, so Josh, the first board 3 to get a point, and that gives Northern Illinois a 2-point lead going into the second half of the match. We're to have round 3 underway with Something Stranger versus Santier Red. We have black capturing on h3, and now bishop check, forcing the king to move. So Santier's looking pretty good against the top board. Both of these players are undefeated so far. 2-point lead, that's not that big. It's not that big. It's decent. It's okay. Yeah, white is struggling. The white is on the struggle bus here. So looks like if Santier Red can hold on to this advantage, they will take down Northern Illinois' top board and bring the match back within 1. So white just developing the bishop, trained on black's flight square that they've made, and also opening up the f1 square for a potential rook attack of the bishop, already attacked by the queen. So the rook goes here, the knight blocking the e file, but also attacking the bishop. So the bishop's going to have to move. So where will the bishop relocate? The knight's also within checking distance. Something Strange is going to have to get the rooks connected. They're going to have to lift the king up. So perhaps... Okay, well, the b2 pawn is hit. Maybe b4. Although the pawn's pinned to the rook. So the rook goes, defending the b2 pawn. Knight looking for some trades. I think white doesn't even have to react to this. Maybe b4 is a good move. Okay, so there's b4. Now the knight can take something. Probably d3, and then queen takes. This is still fine for black. So, yeah, white still needs to lift the king. Technically, material is even. Material is even, so... You know, white's still very much in this. White just needs to get a rook to the g file. So bishop back, and now king up. I would play like king c2. Just to play rook g1. Did Santier Red already beat Tasabu? That might have been from the previous round. Yeah. Santier Red's playing here. So that means I'm actually missing a match currently at the moment. Tasabu's playing Gobsmacked. We have No Miso playing Josh. We have Something Stranger versus Santier Red, which means we're missing Han Solo. Maybe he switched back to Eagle Strike. I seriously hope not. Okay. We have Hot Grill and Han Solo here. So Hot Grill is up a pawn. Bishop develops with tempo on the queen. We could see e4, a counter punch. Your U Chicago B team. Am I even spectating you guys? You guys are playing a default, so it looks like you're good. You're safe. But also, don't tell me you have another account. You can't tell me that. You would never have another count exactly. Wait, oh, okay, so taking the knight, but taking the bishop. And now the bishop tucks back, fianchettoed, safe and sound. And now white takes on g6. Brings the rook to the center with a tempo. Now the queen can develop somewhere. But where? Queen f6. Keeping white's dark square bishop back. Okay. So now black is fully developed. You're definitely not allowing. Okay, so queen's attacking f2. So white can defend this by moving their light square bishop, opening up their queen. But then we could see a sacrifice on f3, an exchange sacrifice, perhaps. White could also go bishop h4, actually. They also, like, if they're really desperate, they can go rook f1. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see if they move the light square bishop and a sacrifice on f3. That would look really fun for black. With, like, knight d4 follow-up. Maybe. Maybe not. Probably white would sack the exchange back. Okay. The two undefeated players, both under a minute now. So, looks like this queen is threatening mate. Black is there to defend. So Santier red up a pawn. Very peculiar position here. Queen over. I don't know if there's any threats here. This dark square bishop for black is such a beautiful piece. Defending, attacking. Now black's trying to open up the avenue against white's king. Something stranger low on time. 18 seconds. The rook's trying to double on the f-file. We have a rook lift. Black trading on b5. Rook takes a3 is an idea. Okay, pawn push. Rook takes a3, man. Now the white rook defends this though. I wonder if we could have taken this. King takes queen check. I don't know. There is mate threat here, so we have a rook lift. Black playing a little defensively. The queen perhaps wants to come here. Queen wants to come here. Okay, that's defended. So king e8. Okay, king's putting on his tennis shoes. We got queen check, rook takes. Less than 10 seconds for white. Going back here, very peculiar move. Pawn push, trying to block the rook. This is defended by the bishop and the queen. No time to take. Rook here, but that's mate in one. GG. White missed the threat. Santier taking down the top board from Northern Illinois. Now 3 for 3. Huge point for the Santa Barbara team. All right, here we got gobsmacked down to their last 40 seconds. Tossabu, the board 4 from Northern Illinois, looking to get some points on the board. Here's their captain. Already up material, up a pawn. Looking to get some more pawns. Rook c1 defending. White attacking d6. Does black defend it? Probably. One can only hope. Rook lift defending. Only 20 seconds for gobsmacked. Bishop to b4. Perhaps lining up a discovery on d6 with a move b5. Black bringing in extra defense. This bishop defends the rook. It's pretty important. So this pawn isn't pinned. Bishop comes back. Now threatening to take here. A renewed threat. A threat that wasn't there anymore before. Okay, knight here defending. Flight square for white. Fast move. Here we have null miso getting checkmated by Josh. Tuned in just in time to see that. So another point from the board 3. Bring the lead back to 2 for Northern Illinois. 10 seconds now for Gob. Pushing the pawn. Attacking this point. This pawn cannot take. So pawn push. So white has a connected pass pawn. So does black. 5 seconds for white. 3, 2, 1. Nope. 4 seconds. This b4 pawn is hanging, so black targets it. 2 seconds. 3.9. So rook to b2. This bishop is kind of a sad piece now. If the bishop goes here, black can take here. Knight comes back, so now this is hanging. Okay, but now rook here. Should be good. Okay. So only 4 seconds. F6, king back to the center. Rook back. Oh. Rook was going to double on b7. Here we have white playing b5. Kind of a desperate move. Black could take on c5. They don't. They trade. I think this is helpful for white. Perhaps still not great. The bishop. Can you take that? Take and then king to e2? Oh, I'm very confused now. There goes the c5. I think you could have taken that. I think you could have taken that. Takes, pawn takes, king e2, and you'd be chilling. I think you would have won the pawn. So now black should just be crushing. But time pressure is difficult for sure. Okay, there's rook c1. Rook here. Bishop back. Let's check out the last game here. We got Han Solo with 8 seconds. Oh, just lost their queen. Yeah, rook here, now bishop here with the pen. Actually, probably should have gone back here, but who knows? There goes a bishop. 10 sec. I mean, anything crazy could happen. Check. Here's a fork. Nice find here from Hot Grill. Gonna take down Han Solo. Han Solo looking for a potential stalemate, perhaps. That would have been a nice move. Here, drops this, drops that. En passant, takes, and yeah. Gotta get these pawns out of the way. Gotta get the pawns moving. You're making too many king moves. But that's all right. Okay, so Tosabu actually won, and Hot Grill actually won. So, huge lead now. Hot Grill, 3 for 3. Tosabu getting their first point. And now, Santa Barbara has to sweep the 4th round in order to force overtime. Probably not going to happen. So yeah, UC Santa Barbara, the number 2 seed, likely to go down to to Northern Illinois. So even though the higher seed team is gonna lose this match, I mean, I shouldn't say that yet. They could still sweep. They could still sweep. It's gonna be hard, especially this fourth board match. Nilmiso still hasn't gotten any points. Gonna need to get one here against Northern Illinois' leader. So Northern Illinois, they just need a draw out of 4 games. Gobsmacked, another one of the Santa Barbara players that hasn't gotten any points. Phineas. But this isn't the end of Santa Barbara's season. They still have the 3rd and 4th place match, although there's no prizes offered for that match. In Division 7 and lower, there's no 3rd, 4th place matches. Kind of unfortunate. Maybe we can try to hook up some memberships, perhaps. Some diamond memberships. We'll see. We did offer memberships for the Division 10 matchup, which is cool for them. If I'm white, I'm playing knight c3 here. But maybe black takes on f3. If queen takes, then there's queen takes d4, winning a pawn. Maybe. So, okay, attacking the knight. The knight can go back in the center. Oh, knight goes home. Knight tucks himself back in to g8. The original square for the knight. Probably not the most accurate move from Gobsmacked. Yeah, knighty knight. Alright, so bishop develops. We're threatening to take and give check and take this guy if black were to do nothing. However, it is black's turn, and they have many good moves here in response to this threat, such as pawn to e6, blocking the diagonal, opening up a new diagonal for one of black's pieces. Instead, they go here, and now I would take, give check, and then take. Although you do drop the d4 pawn, but I still like this idea. I would go for it. Why not? Full send. What else you got? Maybe you could play knight g5. It would force a draw, which wins the match. Knight g5? I mean, can you go bishop here? I don't know. They sacrifice. Goes here. Yeah, knight g5 I thought was good. Knight takes e5. Ideas. That was a good idea. Good to see Daniel Yedidia tuning in. The captain of the A team from UCLA, also known as Chess Elephant. Okay, so castles, there's knight here. There's rook here. I like knight here stuff. Yeah, probably just castles for white. Loses to queen a4. You're right. Queen a4 is Forktown. So now knight d1 seems like a threat. Or I mean rook d1. Rook to d1. So looks like Josh is doing pretty good here. Let's check in with the board fours. Nolmiso up a pawn against Tasabu. Could this be Nolmiso's first win of the match? When the team needed null miso the most. Null miso answered. Okay, Han Solo and something stranger. Positions somewhat even. Black has bishop pair. Maybe a better pawn structure. This is a good bishop. Lots of pawns on dark squares. Bishop on a light square. Queen's coming out to play. You have knight back to f3, right? Did they just bring the knight back? Yeah, knight back. I would go. I would play knight f3. I think objectively, if you look at this position and you didn't see the last move, you would say knight f3 is a pretty good move. I would suspect. But knowing that they played knight back to d2, who knows what they do now? They're going the wrong way. They want to go to c5. All right, Santier Red against Hot Grill. So Hot Grill is flawless. Santier Red is flawless. They're both 3 for 3. Who is going to be more flawless? Looks like White's got this annoying pawn on h6, trying to bring the queen in. So White, if given 2 moves in a row, they would take the knight and then deliver checkmate on g7. But because chess is a turn-based game, Black has ample time and opportunity to respond to this threat by defending the knight. So the knight is now defended. White still hasn't castled. They bring the knight into e5. This gambits the d4 pawn. Does Black dare take on d4? Allowing for, I don't know, is there some fancy knight move now or some rook move? I do not know. Yeah, maybe just rook d1. Knight takes on b3, pawn takes back on b3. Your pawns are bad. You've lost a pawn. But you're threatening knight e4. Perhaps. Perhaps not. Because I guess they just take it. Wait, what am I thinking? What are we threatening? I don't know. I feel like Black just lost the pawn. All right, let's go back to Josh and Gobsmacked. Okay, so we've established a pawn on e6. We somehow traded queens. Okay, so knight hits the queen, queen moved, knight backwards, and now a trade of queens here. Very peculiar. Okay, has Gobsmacked moved the king yet? Can they castle along? Do they dare castle along? Knight into f5. There's g4, which is kind of a funny move. If you go knight to f7, Black can take on e6. So this knight on g5 is pretty important. And now I think that Black can play h6. H6. I mean, I guess you can go knight f7 because you're tagging the rook. Black would have to go rook g8 first. How incredible would a draw be right now between these two teams? If White, wait, okay, both queens are hanging. Can we just take and win a rook? So rook here, knight takes, and now knight c6. What a baller move. That was the follow-up I didn't see. Knight c6. That is wild. So here, and now you just want to trade queen. Queen takes queen. Only 30 seconds from Santier. They don't do it. Wait, they're threatening mate. But now Black can play like f6. Or even queen f6, no? Queen f6 is pretty logical. Yeah, I think that White should have taken on d8. And now I think Black is doing totally fine. Santier also down to 20 seconds. So they give knight check, king over. So trying to distract the queen. But not good enough. The king just tucks away in the corner, and now white's got nothing. They gotta trade queens, they gotta take the knight back, and now their pawn structure's pretty bad. Their knight is kind of trapped. Especially after this move. How do you get the knight out of there? You don't. Sacrificing, but you're gonna be down way too much material. Down a whole knight. Down all the time. Gonna lose the h-pawn. I don't know what the king's doing here. But that's gonna be the match. Santier red. Gonna go down. Black just trying to trade off the rooks. Leaving the rooks on the board. Attacking the G pawn. The B2 pawn is hanging. This kind of threatens a fork. Okay, king active piece leading the center. Tasabu beat Null Miso. So Null Miso is looking good, but Tasabu, the leader for Northern Illinois, clinches out the win. So they got the pawn back. Trade of bishops and a flag from Null Miso. So that is the game. Tasabu splitting 2 for 2. Gobsmack gonna lose this one soon. 5 seconds. Here we got Han Solo down to 15 seconds. So yeah, all the Santa Barbara players very low on time. This pawn is running. Rook trying to catch it. Here, if here we have this, only 5 seconds. Push, rook here, there's this. If rook takes bishop, there's promotion. But you really should get behind it. I mean, otherwise you can go here. Yeah, bishop a6. Missed. Now rook takes. Or take here. Takes. Bishop here. You can defend this. Josh beat Gobsmacked. So they ended 3 out of 4. Gobsmacked. Unfortunately unable to get any points. Trade here. King e3. King here. I wanted to get in g4. Oh, there's a skewer. There's a huge skewer. Han Solo wins the rook. Up a rook. Gonna promote. Doesn't matter though. Bishop guards this. You could play rook here. King here. This pawn could try to push. The bishop gets here in time. King attacks this guy. There's check. Defends that. No. Let's check out on Santier. Hot grill, up a knight, up a pawn. Doesn't even need the knight, but it's going to be a pretty easy win for Hot grill to convert. Checking on this game here. Looks like, yeah, black can now take on d2 with check. They need to get the rook to the e file. Grabbing here. Oh. Okay. Yeah, this defends everything. Blocks the rook, though. Now I would play g4. Okay. That's a free bishop. White could have taken that. Hot grill beat Santier. This match could be a sweep in the 4th round in the wrong direction. Actually, Han Solo should win this one, avoiding the sweep. Okay, so now the king needs to leave. The king needs to get involved. White, yeah, bring the king around. So they're bringing the rook back to guard against h3. Makes sense. Saying this, if the king moves, the bishop falls, so the bishop has to move. And now attacking the g pawn. There's bishop e3. Now maybe, yeah, king f6. It's this move. There's always... Oh. Okay. Okay, so we're threatening mate. So bishop check. There goes the pawn. Promote. Getting rid of that last pawn move. Now down to your last bishop. You can move the king out of the way. And push the g pawn. Yep. King back, hoping for some stalemate. You gotta get rid of the bishop though, but it's difficult. Difficult to do that. So king up. King up again. Bishop back. Rook over. And now, yeah, push, pawn takes, rook takes, king over. Rook here, and f8 equals queen. Hoping for stalemate, but just resigning. Han Solo with the win, but unfortunately, too little too late. Final score 11-5. So Northern Illinois University guaranteed $200 in prizes. They will move on to play on Sunday against the winner between the other Division 7 teams. Let me see who that is. Baylor versus UNLVB. So UNLVB actually had a forfeit win in their previous round. So that's actually the number 1 seed versus the number 12 seed. So you cannot have more of a mismatch in terms of seeding. I think Baylor is the heavy favorite to win that match. Although UNLVB, maybe give them a run for their money. But yeah, Northern Illinois likely to play Baylor, but don't want to count out the Rebels just yet. But yeah, UC Santa Barbara will move on to play the 3rd and 4th place match. No prizes for them, unfortunately. But yeah, congrats again, Northern Illinois. Guaranteed $200. So hopefully you guys will have something to put that money to. Tasabu, would you like to join for an interview, a post-match interview? UNLV got a penalty for the Baylor match. Interesting. Let me know if you want to hop on real quick. We could do a call. Yeah, Discord. Okay, perfect. Let me call you. Hello, Ace.
How's it going?
Good.
Uh,
How are you?
I'm pretty happy right now.
Yeah, you guys just insured $200 for your chess club. So how's that feel?
It is pretty nice. We're kind of in need of funds for stuff, so
Yeah. So this is Ace. Is it Frieders?
yep.
This is the president, I believe, Northern Illinois team.
Vice president, but yeah.
Okay. Who's your president?
He doesn't play on the team, but his name's Jacob.
Okay. So yeah, hopefully you guys have like a treasurer or something. And yeah, like what would you guys spend $200 on?
Well, me and Jacob, we're the founders of the club as well. We only started the club just last February, so we're in desperate need of like boards, clocks, everything.
Awesome. So you don't have any of those or?
No, it's members bringing their own right now. We have about
Oh,
4 boards from the club that used to be here before us, but it's been years since they were a thing.
okay. I see we got that Shield Schulman saying you guys gonna buy some boards. Hopefully you get some nice weighted pieces. Maybe even get some clocks, although the clocks can be expensive.
Yeah, they're a bit pricey there,
But if
unfortunately.
you win your first place match, you'll get an extra $100. So maybe
Yeah,
that
that would be nice.
you guys will likely
UNLVB and Baylor, they're good teams.
yeah, you'll likely play Baylor. I don't want to call the match yet, but I believe Baylor is actually undefeated in their
Yeah,
their
I think
regular
they are
season.
too. Uh,
So Wait, have you guys haven't played Baylor though? You guys are Group B and they're Group A.
Yeah, we haven't seen Baylor or UNLVB.
Yeah, or UC Santa Barbara as well. So yeah, I
Yeah,
guess you guys are the last
every
Group B team left.
yeah, every Group B team lost in the wild cards. It was crazy.
So you guys apparently have a couple fans listening in right now in the chat. Do you have anything you'd like to say to your teammates?
To the teammates, great playing today, guys. They always like to pick up the slack for me. I'm usually at the bottom of the board there, but as long as I can be better than the other team's four, we're pretty solid. Uh, I know it's late and we had to reschedule and everything, so I really appreciate all the guys coming out and to everyone in the chat for coming out so late because it's 11:30 here.
We got a lot of fans in the chat now tuning in saying they love you.
Oh boy, I'm not looking at the chat right now.
um,
Maybe I should
but
pull this up.
yeah, your team pretty strong performance. No one scored fewer than 2 points, so you all at least were even. And you had Hot Grill and Josh going net positive with Hot Grill a flawless performance from Austin.
Yep,
Um,
Austin.
and Josh with 3 points out of four. So hopefully you guys will have some similar performance against this Baylor team. And actually, Northern Illinois has never played in the. I keep saying Baylor. I feel like I'm disrespecting UNLVB pretty hard right now, but I think if they were listening, they would understand. But yeah, Baylor has also never played in the Collegiate Chess League, so you guys just joining for the first time ever this season, and you guys have found yourselves in the finals of your division. So that's got to be pretty cool. And yeah, is your team gonna do any like preparation work for your finals match on Sunday?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to discredit UNLV, but we're prepping for Baylor. Um,
Were you
really,
prepping for
that
Baylor before this match?
I was prepping for this team. I didn't want to get ahead of myself, but from now on, it's time for Baylor. I think. Don't want to call it yet, but
Okay. Are you guys gonna
that
watch the semifinals match tomorrow?
I've actually got a USCF over the board tournament tomorrow at that time, so there's a
Okay,
chance I'll catch like I'll go and look at the games after, but I won't be able to see it live.
that makes sense. So what tournament are you playing tomorrow?
It's just a little local Illinois tournament. It's just a little 3 by 3.
Oh, cool.
But I'm also playing Sunday. We've got the state class.
State class.
Yeah, I don't know if they do that over there, but it's basically like how there's like master, expert, A B C D E, and then
Yeah.
like so we hold
Okay.
a state tournament that's the state open, which was a couple months ago, and we also have the state class.
You guys host that?
Well, we don't host that,
Oh.
but like Illinois hosts that, I
Okay.
should
So
say.
is that in person?
Yeah, that's in person. Yep.
And where is that?
It's little west of Chicago.
Okay. So where are you guys in relation to Chicago?
We are closer to the left side of the state than the right.
Okay. Interesting.
We're pretty middle north of the state, but Chicago's a good like hour and a half, 2 hours.
So there's a ton of Chicago teams in the Collegiate Chess League. Maybe you'll see a lot of those players at that tournament.
Yeah, it's very possible. I'm in class D, so probably I won't see some of the better players, but they might be there.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. Do you guys have like a favorite between any of the Chicago teams or not really?
I like watching U Chicago a lot.
They got a really good team.
They do much better than us, but that's nor here
Well,
there nor there.
you guys are just starting out, and it's really cool that you guys helped start up your club again. I think I saw. I don't know if it was you that shared some videos like at the beginning of the season, but I looked up I think Northern Illinois Chess Club, and you guys had like some YouTube videos posted from like over a decade ago or something.
Yeah,
It
that's
was
not our club, and I'm not sure if I shared those. That might have been Josh that shared those, if anyone shared them. But
maybe I just found them,
I've
but
seen them before. I've seen them before, but it's not us.
well, hopefully with you guys playing in the finals, you can get some more school recognition. That'd be pretty cool. And obviously, you're getting some funding this way, and maybe some more people from your school will catch wind of you guys and start joining for more club meetings. Especially now that you'll get some more sets, and maybe you guys will have more players, maybe even more teams for next season.
Yeah, that's the hope. After like the first like couple of weeks of playing, we had a lot of people that were like, "Oh, this is really cool. We'd like to be part of this." I'm like, "Well, I can't really just start a new B team 5 weeks into the season."
Exactly. But hopefully
So
they
the
keep up the
February
interest.
season, really looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's great. So yeah, thank you so much, and again, good luck in both your over the board tournaments as well as your match on Sunday. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, thank you, and thank you for streaming it.
of course. Luckily, I was free. I was busy initially, and then my plans changed, so here I am. But yeah, good
Best
luck to you
place to be.
guys. Good luck to Northern
Yeah,
Illinois,
thank you. Thank you.
and yeah, I'll see you guys later. So take care.
Awesome. You too.
That was Ace Frieders, the captain of the Northern Illinois team. They're board 4, getting 2 points, helping their team win 11-5 here against UC Santa Barbara, ensuring their team $200 in prize funds. So they're gonna have to make an account for us to pay them. And yeah, apparently they're in need of some chess sets, so that'll help fund that, which is pretty cool. So yeah, that is it for today.